right, huh?
Entertaining and unpredictable conversation with Ludlow Porch. And you can join in the fun by dialing toll-free 1-800-572-TALK. That's 1-800-572-8255. Here's Ludlow.
Well, good morning, fun seekers. How y'all? Getting right on into the week. Hot, dusty. But it's going to be all right by and by. The rain must come. The cool must come. We'll make it till September. I feel kind of laid back today. I hope you do, because a lot of things we can talk about. We're not going to hold you too close. We'll let you talk about almost anything that's on your mind today. A lot going on we can talk about, and I'll let you pick what that's going to be. For example, today's the 13th, a traditional bad luck day. Do you regard this as a bad luck day? I think if you do, it will be. But if you don't, that's something else. Bad luck, do you believe in it? What do you think? I mean, our mamas and grandmamas passed down a lot of superstitions to us, a lot of things we worry about. Broken mirrors, 7 years bad luck, nothing to fool with. Walk under a ladder, hat on the bed, awful bad luck. You give somebody a knife as a present, it brings you both bad luck. You spill salt, you step on a crack. It's hard to do anything without being bad luck. What was your mother or grandmother? And I say mother or grandmother rather than father or grandfather, because the mothers of the world seem to be the ones that hand things down to us that we live with, like a hat on the bed. When I was a little guy, I could go in and put a baseball hat on the bed, and my mother would have an absolute running fit. Bad luck. Bad luck. We can talk about that, being the 13th and all, or any cool weather food. I tend to want more sandwiches when the weather is cool like this. I'm a big sandwich man. I guess this classifies me as a barbarian. But really, I could probably live off of sandwiches. I'm talking about, from breakfast with a bacon and egg sandwich right on through to supper time. You could even tell me about the time you were on television. Was that exciting or what? Now, and I have a question I want to throw out today, too. I'd like to get some thoughts on. Is it just me, or did the television show Murphy Brown go downhill after the baby was born? Did you like that show better before Murphy was a mama? And if so, why? Has the quality fallen off or what? They had a Murphy Brown on last night, really stunk up the place. We can talk about that. Is it just me, or did the baby ruin Murphy Brown on television? And big news, big budget film going to be out here right away. Kind of a redoing of The Fugitive. Remember The Fugitive? Around 4 or 5 years, one of the big all-time hit television shows. Going to make a movie out of it. Have made it, as a matter of fact. Looks great. I got to go see it. It stars Harrison Ford as Dr. Richard Kimball. And same general thing. Accused of murdering his wife in a bus/train accident, and escapes. And then they look for him while he tries to prove his innocence. Not a new formula, but I hope this is going to be something. I'm looking forward to this. I'm going to go see it. I like Harrison Ford. I like Dr. Richard Kimball. This ought to be a winner. Got to thinking about that. Wonder what other television shows they could turn into movies. Big budget movies. And who would star in them? Like, for example, if they wanted to make a movie with Have Gun, Will Travel, could anybody play the paladin part except Richard Boone, who obviously can't play it because he's completely dead? Who would play that? How about a big budget bonanza movie, who would play Ben, Little Joe Hoss, or Adam? And who would play Hop Sing? Same with Gunsmoke. They wanted to do a big budget movie, Gunsmoke. Who would they get to play all those great characters on Gunsmoke? Dragnet. There have been a couple of Dragnet movies. Could they bring those back? Who would play Sergeant Joe Friday? Nobody. Jack Webb pretty much put his brand on that thing. Remember Peter Gunn? Very successful. Very successful. Private detective show. Who would play Peter Gunn? Or even Wagon Train? I guess all those guys are gone now. Who would do all of that? We can still talk about that. Any lottery winners out there yet? We tried to find some when the new Georgia lottery started. We tried to find somebody from Georgia, Tennessee, the Carolinas, anywhere out there, Alabama, who had bought a ticket and been a winner. Anybody seen Dennis the Menace? New one. Got to see that. Another cartoon / television made into a movie. Walter Matthau, how can that miss? We'll talk about all of that. We'll talk about a lot of stuff, and all you have to do to be involved is 1-800-572-8255. Ludlow Porch. George in complete charge today, so say good morning to George when you call in. And let me tell you how you can save some money this very weekend. Decided that time to trade cars, ready to go get them? Think about the Jeep. I mean, it comes in all shapes and sizes and all prices. Listen, Jasper Jeep in Jasper, Georgia. When it's time, that's where you need to go. Save yourself a bunch of money. That's what has been the key to their success. That's what gets you in there the first time. Everybody wants to save money, and they've heard these stories about the thousands and thousands of dollars you can save at Jasper Jeep. So they go up there and try, and when they get there, they find out that it is a new way to buy a vehicle. One where folks look you right in the eye, tell you the truth every time. You want to buy a car, you want to trade in an old car? Easy as pie. They got one price on them, gang, and when they give you that price, that's carved in marble. These are good people. These are folks who want to make sure that this is a good experience for you. No bull feathers ever. Jasper Jeep in Jasper, Georgia. That kind of attitude, those kind of prices have made these folks the largest Jeep dealership this side of California. Don't you love it? Jasper Jeep in Jasper, Georgia. Gang, no matter where you live in the Southeast, your Jeep and Eagle dealership is in Jasper, Georgia.
What 4-year-old Lauren Holden doesn't know yet is that
Speaking of Peter Ga, some of the most famous music ever to hit television, Henry Mancini's, the theme from Peter Ga. Right to the phones now and talk to our friend Freckles. Good morning, Freckles.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way.
It won't help.
It sure. How about the weather outside is frightful?
Yeah, I wish it would. If it did, we would have a marathon of snow music today.
Oh, Lord. I tell you what, I left about a quart of my delicate perspiration on the streets of Philadelphia.
Oh, yeah. Well, Philadelphia's been tough from what I read.
Well, it was in the national news every night we were up there. I've never been as hot for as long in my life.
A lot of folks dying in Philadelphia.
Oh, yeah. That was my first, well, I had been through Philadelphia before, but the city of Philadelphia is just beautiful.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful city.
Did you get to take one of those carriage rides down through the
No, honey, we walked the whole thing. We were up there with our neighbors who are natives, born and raised.
Yeah.
And the first day that it hit 100 was the day we did the tourist routine. I'm telling you, I ducked in every little nook and cranny I could find that air. It was so hot. I can't tell you how hot it was.
Yeah.
It was awful.
Well, all those deaths mirror that, That doesn't...
Well, there's no such thing in the city of Philadelphia as single housing. It's all row housing.
Uh-huh.
Just street after street after street, and some of them are, in the poorer sections do not have air. And, people sit outside. We were out one night late, and some guy was laying out on his yard on a chaise lounge, I guess, trying to keep cool.
Did you ever think you'd be trying to escape Philadelphia, Pennsylvania to come south where it's cooler in the south? That's funny.
No, but it really was. I had a good time, but it was really, really unbearably hot. And I hate hot weather.
Yeah, me too.
But anyway, I'm back from the north.
Well, and you got a lot of rest and enjoy. No rest at all.
No. In fact, I came home. We had been with people nonstop for about 8 days, and my youngest daughter met me at the airport with my grandbaby, and we got home, and my other daughter was here, and I was so tired. And my daughter said, "Where's the Barney tape?" I said, "I do not want to watch television. I want to be left alone."
The Barney tape?
You know Barney.
Yeah.
And we have for the baby, we've got some Barney tapes.
Oh, I
She
see.
loves those tapes, but I didn't want to watch Barney. I wanted to be alone.
Came home to get some rest.
You got it.
I'm afraid that's what happens on most vacations.
Well, it's a different type of vacation than we normally take. We usually go to the beach and park ourselves for a week.
Yeah.
And but this was nonstop, go for about 8 days. And I was zonked when I got home.
A good way to get some rest on a vacation is to take a cruise.
I would love to take a cruise.
Those are restful because when you get tired of doing whatever activities that you find, the temptation is to go back and take a nap.
I wanted to tell you something. You have 1 minute.
Sure.
Over a year ago, we were talking about places we wanted to go, and I told you on the air, I think, that I had always wanted to go to England. I wanted to go so badly. I wanted to go. And that you said, well, plan it right now. Start right now. And I did. I started just stashing a little money away. And I opened me a little account to park some money in the other day. I'm going to England in April.
I love it. That's great.
I'm tickled to death.
Yeah, I want to do that, too. I need to put some time aside. I really want to return to the mother country. And
well, I'm a real Anglophile, and I think probably if I would ever dig back my roots, my maiden name is definitely English, and I've always had an affinity for anything English, and I really am excited about it.
April should be nice and damp, and in England, then you get you one of those fancy coats and just have a bowl. Well, that's good. Congratulations.
All right.
I love it.
I'll talk at you later.
You be good. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah, returning to the mother country. Our number, 1-800-572-8255. We are wide open. What's on your mind?
Our new laser system primarily addresses the ability to treat pigment lesions of various kinds, uninduced and congenital, sometimes called birthmarks and tattoos.
Dr. Gilbert Gloucester talks about the groundbreaking treatment in removing tattoos, liver spots, and birthmarks with Candela lasers at the Atlanta Laser Center.
Birthmarks of the pigmented type would spend perhaps 15 minutes treating the area. It takes, of course, more than one treatment to remove most of these lesions. Improvements such as to be hardly detectable is frequently the case.
They're the only plastic surgery center in Atlanta with this Candela laser procedure.
This is a huge advance in terms of our ability to provide something for these individuals.
Call the Atlanta Laser Center today.
At the Atlanta Laser Center, our staff welcomes calls from people who are interested in treatment of tattoos or removal of pigmented lesions.
Call 851-2283, outside 800-973.
Our center is located near Northside Hospital. We're in a private...
All right, the cry of the wild goose. 1-800-572-8255. And a few folks along the network lines out there. Our engineering department tells me that we have experienced some difficulty in our satellite. And that's all straightened out now, and we're glad to have you back. If the satellite got you and you dropped off, we got it all fixed now, and the satellite is working and sending out little beams from way up yonder. So, welcome back if you've been gone. We're talking about a bunch of stuff this morning, pretty much wide open. Mentioned the Dennis the Menace thing. I'd like to talk to somebody out there who has seen. I'm a big Walter Matthau fan, and under normal circumstances, it would never have occurred to me to go see the movie version of Dennis the Menace. However, with Walter Matthau playing Mr. Wilson, it's become one of my must-see things. And I don't go to many movies, but there's two new ones I'm going to see for sure. I'm going to see Dennis the Menace, only because of Walter Matthau's presence, and I want to see how he handles the George Wilson role. And I've got to go see the new Fugitive when it comes out with Harrison Ford starring as Dr. Richard Kimball. Got to go see that. I'll give you a report on that because I'm going to go stand in line. I don't ever do that. I'm going to go stand in line and see that when it starts out. 1-800-572-8255 as we go to Madison, Georgia, and talk to Ray. Good morning, Big Ray.
Good morning, Letty.
How you doing, pal?
Doing fine. We just joined you about 20 minutes after 9 here.
Little satellite problems.
Yeah, a little bit of satellite problem.
Well, I'm glad we got them worked out.
Me too. I'm glad we finally got you picked up.
I mean,
now, what are we talking about today?
You take 20 minutes is not long to take a pair of pliers and a screwdriver and go to the satellite and come back.
I haven't tried that before.
Well, we're talking about a lot of things. Today is the 13th, and we're talking about the bad luck superstitions that your mother passed down to you. My mother was a hat-on-the-bed woman. I could put my hat on the bed, and she'd have an absolute fit.
Well, hey, Letty, it could be worse. Today could be Friday the 13th.
That's right. That's right. That's a definite stay home and in the bed thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're talking about cool weather foods, and we want to hear from the people out there and find out about the time they were on television.
I've never been on television, but let me tell you about a great movie I saw last weekend.
All right.
Or Friday night.
Okay.
The new one by Clint Eastwood, In the Line of Fire.
Oh, where he plays the Secret Service agent.
Yes, great movie. You ought to go see it.
That looked good. I'll go see that.
Yeah, you would love it. And listen, I want to tell you, I'm making plans to come visit you tomorrow.
Well, good.
Bringing you a surprise.
Bringing me a surprise.
Yeah, don't ask me what it is.
Okay, is this a very expensive present? I'm sure that you've been saving up for months.
I don't know how expensive it is, but
well, the last surprise you brought me, Ray, was a live mule in the studio, and I'm not sure.
Well, I don't know if I'll do this this time.
Well, I will look forward to your arrival.
Yes. Hey, I look forward to seeing you.
All right, big boy.
You gonna let me sit in there with you?
Well, certainly.
Okay.
Certainly.
Okay, great. Hey, listen, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
All right, bud.
You have a great day.
Talk to you, Ray.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Let's talk to Bulldog Betty on the radio. Hello, my love.
Good morning, my dear.
How you doing?
I have one. This is a personal question, if you don't mind. Is it okay if I ask?
Yeah.
Do you have a sweaty fiddle?
No. I'm in air-conditioned splendor, right?
Does that conjure up an image or what?
It does for a fact.
Of course, I guess, lustrous potentates don't sweat like ordinary folks. I guess they would, with a title like that, you'd have to, quote, glisten.
No, I render.
Now that conjures up a picture.
Indeed.
Hog killings, get out of bed 4 o'clock in the morning, but it's got to be cold, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which brings up a nice thought. I have another question. Can Freckles say Anglophile on the radio?
Yes, she did.
I mean, that sounds almost as questionable as thespian.
Well, there's some other things here that are questionable, but we decided to let Anglophile go. Sounds dirty. I'm gonna look that up in the dictionary as soon as I get off from work. And
I felt for her when she said she'd been in Philly. It must have just been fierce up there.
Apparently, from everything I read, it's an awful hot place to be right now.
You know what I think? I believe the good Lord is saying, you think this is hot? That crowd down there don't straighten up. This is just a preview.
You think this is hot? Go to Philadelphia.
There you go, or other places that we can name. I guess I'm getting old and cranky and unimaginative.
Well, now, wait a
Lord.
minute. But before you get into this, let me interrupt you because I want you to get all the way through your crankiness and get it off your chest. I got to take care of some business, so you hang on, and you can come right back and be cranky.
We can do that.
All right. Bulldog Betty will be right back in all of her wonderfulness and complete crankiness after these important words.
I'm Billy Howell, your Ford Lincoln Mercury dealer located on Georgia 400 and Highway 9, 1/2 mile north of exit 13. Two of the best new car values for the money in the whole world is Ford Crown Vic and Mercury Grand Marquis. The only way to make the values even better is for the selling dealer to offer big discounts on these cars. So effective immediately, Billy Howell Ford Lincoln Mercury is offering a minimum of 20% or $5,000 in discounts off the list price, whichever is greater, on every new Ford Crown Vic and Mercury Grand Marquis we have in inventory. Discounts include factory rebates. Folks, shop around and check the other dealers' discounts. If you aren't being offered a minimum of 20% or $5,000 off the list, then maybe you should come see Billy Howell Ford Lincoln Mercury. Remember, folks, a minimum of 20% or $5,000 off the list on every Crown Vic and Grand Marquis in Billy Howell's inventory. Buy now while we still have a good selection. The best products, price, and service at Billy Howell Ford Lincoln Mercury in Cumming, Georgia.
Our car parts and their car parts are pretty much the same. We all stock up on what you need and carry the best brand names. Oh, but when you want the lowest price, Nationwide is the best advice. Nationwide is Motorhead heaven.
Nationwide says organic brake pads or shoes on sale this week at an incredible $6.99 each. Shoes sold with exchange. Powertron or IAPCO starters or alternators are yours starting at just $19.99 with rebuildable exchange. And Motorcraft resistor plugs are Nationwide's priced at just 92 cents each. What a deal. Nationwide sale prices effective now through Saturday. Love working on your car? Love saving money? Then you belong in Motorhead heaven.
Nationwide is Motorhead heaven.
Nationwide's Auto Parts.
What you doing? It's 2:36 at News Talk Radio AM-750 WSB. You're getting a taste of Ludlow Porch, the best of. We're going to rejoin Ludlow and his wacky friends right now, Bulldog Betty, in just a minute. But first, here's Atlanta's most accurate weather from WSB meteorologist Kirk Mellish.
Okay, let's take a quick look at the weather. Partly cloudy, temperatures less than 10% today, tonight, and tomorrow, with little change less than 20% out of the west to 10 miles per hour, with gusts up to 8 in areas of intensity. The forecast for the metropolitan and surrounding two-state humidities under mostly skies, I have 8:15 a.m. That's 6:35 Celsius.
All right, Kirk, thanks very much. Right now, WSB color radar is confused. Relative humidity, 59%. Winds southwest, 9 miles an hour. Barometer still taking off, 30.13. At 2:36, the temperature on Peachtree Street is 78 degrees. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we rejoin the best of Ludlow Porch, already in progress right here on News Talk Radio, AM-750, WSB.
Michael Bolton for the American Red Cross.
Let's join our hands and join our hearts. Make a harmony out of all the parts. We're striking a chord together, moving toward a dream. Now is the time for you to play your part. Now is the time.
There are a lot of different parts to play in the American Red Cross. Call your local chapter and play your part. I'm Michael Bolton saying thanks.
We used to live in this tiny old house with great big holes in the roof. House? You were lucky to have a house. We used to live in one room, all 26 of us, no furniture. Half the floor was missing. We're all huddled together in one corner for fear of falling. Oh, you were lucky to have a room. We used to have to live in a corridor. Oh, we used to dream of living in a corridor. Would have been a palace to us. We used to live in an old water tank on a rubbish tip. We had to go and live in a lake. You were lucky to have a lake. There were 150 of us living in a small shoebox in the middle of the road. Cardboard box? Aye, you were lucky. We lived for 3 months in a brown paper paper bag in a septic tank.
If you're laughing, you've probably never been homeless. The United Way of Metro Atlanta helps Atlantans who are. If you can afford to laugh, you can afford to give.
How dry I am, how dry I am, nobody knows. How dry I am, how dry I am.
Too much alcohol can not only ruin the song, it can ruin your life. And if you get behind the wheel of a car, you could ruin someone else's life as well. With a 2-ton vehicle out of control in your hands, you're very likely to become a murderer. Don't take that chance. The consequences can be fatal for someone else or for you. Every 23 seconds, someone is damaged by a drunk driver. If you're a victim and want information about your rights, call RID, Remove Intoxicated Drivers, 518-393-HELP. RID National Victims Helpline, 518-393-HELP.
(572-8255) as we rejoin our friend Bulldog Betty, who was about to tell us why she's cranky today.
Well, I don't know about actually cranky. Let's just say set in my ways and immovable.
Out of sorts. How
Well,
about
that'll get it.
Okay.
What I was thinking about, I guess, really, like remaking these old movies or making these television series. Lord, there's just no way anybody else but old ugly Richard Boone could play Paladin.
I don't see how. I don't know who'd do that.
No, it'd be a mighty weak attempt. And as far as a Gunsmoke movie, please, dear Lord, James Arness's wrinkles have had all their stand. I mean, they literally going to have to prop him up if they could. I mean, I've got wrinkles, but that old boy's face looks like 9 miles of bad road.
Yeah, but you know, the couple of things he's been in where he played mountain men and that sort of thing, he really looked the part.
Yes, exactly.
Really looked the part.
I mean, you can see those eyes been peering out over the valleys and mountains for a long
That
time.
man has tracked a bear or two in his day, yeah.
I guess what I'm saying is, as far as our entertainment in that genre, perfection or what passes for it, I guess, is let's just leave it in peace with those old folks.
That's a pretty good idea.
And especially, you know what really brought this home to me? We watched True Grit again the other night. And that just about says it all.
Yeah.
When you talk about having different folks do roles that have been done that way,
Did you know there was a television series for a short while called True Grit?
That rings a vague bell, but it's a very little one.
Yeah, well, it was the series. The series didn't go. I'm trying to think of the guy. One of my favorite actors played Rooster Cogburn.
That's what I was going to ask you.
It'll come to me in just a second.
Well, if it does, please say it, because I'll drive myself crazy.
Yeah, this guy played a bad guy for most of his career. Oh, Southern actor, but he never could pull off Rooster Cogburn, even with the eye patch.
And one thing...
That'll come to me and I'll announce it.
Another thing I guess we just might as well reconcile ourselves to after watching that again. Ain't no way Glenn Campbell's ever going to learn to act. You behave your bad self, and we'll talk to you again.
I'll look forward to it. Hang in there, my love.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Time for us to talk now to pretty, perky Patty on the radio. Hello.
Hey.
Pretty, perky Patty. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great.
Good.
Ludlow. Listen, I've known you for a while, and I've known you also that you've wanted to break into the entertainment industry. And, you know...
What do you think I'm doing now? A hardware store or something?
Well, Ludlow, come on, let's not kid ourselves.
All right.
All right,
Okay.
Let's just put all the cookies out on the table where we can all see them.
All right.
And let's really face facts. This is, Okay, I think we know what we're saying here. But, Ludlow, listen, I had this great concept that I was out walking today. And everyone loves Regis and Kathy Lee, right? Everyone just eats them up.
I didn't know that.
Yes. And Lud,
Yeah.
what does Regis have, what does Kathy Lee have that two people that you and I know really well both have? Perky.
Perky.
That would be me.
Yeah.
Curmudgeon. That would be you.
Uh-huh.
See? A little bit of an age difference. Nothing major. They could be a couple if they wanted to be, but they don't want to be. And we know how you feel about me.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, Joel Babbitt just bought that TV station, right?
Right.
You and me, Luddy and Patty, a little chat fest, a little talking with guests. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing this concept in my head, you know.
Yeah.
I get free clothes from Lily Rubin. You get them from God knows wherever you get them. And we're both happy.
Big bucks.
What do you think?
Big bucks. I like it.
I think we call Joel today.
I like it.
You get your people to get in touch with my people, and we'll call his people.
I'll get my person to get in touch with them.
Ludlow, I know you're thinking, that wacky woman, she's doing it again.
Yes.
But I'm seeing it, Lud.
I was thinking that.
I'm seeing it. You know, and as I was laying by the pool today, you know, thinking about you, thinking about your career, I really had to say that this could really pull it out of the dumper. You know? This could do it.
Yeah.
So, when you're off the air, I know you're a little pressed for time right now.
I'll go to work on this. I think it's a wonderful idea.
When you get off the air, you know how to reach me.
Yes.
So just, you know, pick up the phone, we'll talk, you know, you and I concept this baby out, and I think we could just turn around television. I think we could do it. And I know, listen, I'm hearing cheers. I'm hearing weeping, okay?
Yeah, gnashing of teeth.
I'm hearing, now let's not get to be a smart aleck. He's a curmudgeon, but he's not that much of a curmudgeon.
How about we do something like Oprah, where we have meaningful things on, like women who name their toes and the men who love them.
And the men who lick them.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, that's Maury Povich, pardon me.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I don't know. It's a possibility. I'm thinking that we could just bounce off of our natural, you know, goodwill toward each other, and God knows we've got lots of that. And, you know, I think possibly you could sell a few books this way, you know, really get those babies off the shelf. I mean, they're gathering dust, no offense.
No offense.
But, you know, see how it goes.
We will go to work on the concept, Pretty Perky Patty.
I'm thinking it's big. I'm thinking it's huge. I'm thinking.
I'll get back to you.
All right.
Yeah.
Take it easy,
All right,
baby.
be good.
Love you.
Love you. Bye-bye. Pretty Perky Patty, about a half a bubble out of plum, but a good old girl. 1-800-572-8255. All right, gang. Decided you're going to use the first week of your vacation to paint your house? How many times have I been there? Going to use the first week to paint the house, and if I'm able, try to take a vacation after that. Tough stuff. Don't have to do that anymore. Give away your paintbrush. Give away your ladder. Call my friends at Taylor Construction Company. Now listen up, because I'm going to give you some big news. You can afford to have vinyl siding on your house. If you have a brick home, you can afford right now to have that baby made maintenance-free. Eaves, overhangs, gutters, and you're one telephone call away from that. Listen, people at Taylor Construction Company will do a job for you. Do a couple things that you're not going to find anywhere else. Number one, they're going to save you a bunch of money on a quality job. Warranties, want to talk warranties? How about this? A 5-year labor warranty, a lifetime warranty on the material. These folks been in business 24 years, and they're going to be there when you need them. Don't you get tied up with the folks I call the truck and ladder guy. That's the guy with a truck and a ladder who wants to be in the vinyl siding business, and he wants to start with you so you can pay his overhead for the first year. Hey, the beautiful part about these people is they're going to be there when they say they're going to be there. They're going to be through when they say they're going to be through, and they got folks who take great pride in what they do. Take great pride in making your house a showplace. You never have to do business with these folks at arm's length. Bob Taylor owns this place. He's right on top of everything going on over there and knows what he is about, knows what his company is about, and really does a job. Now, when I tell you can afford it, only one way you can find that out. You can have these folks come out and give you an estimate. Let you look at what they have to offer. Tell you about the vinyl windows and the fact that you're not going to have any more hot air coming in the summertime or cold air coming in the wintertime when you get these wonderful vinyl windows. They're easy to clean. You never paint those either. Don't you love never painting anything? Call these folks. Anywhere in the southeast you live, it's 1-800-9-TAYLOR. If you're in the Atlanta area, it's 491-8761. 491-8761. Give you an estimate. No high pressure, no jacking you around, just folks who want to do this for you and want to make this into a show place. Going to make an honest profit, going to give you a deal you cannot turn down. Taylor Construction Company, 491-8761. 491-8761. And don't forget this, gang. When it is vinyl, it's final. You call those folks Taylor Construction Company.
Hello, I'm Charles Carrault, and you're listening to my close personal friend, Ludlow Porch, whom I had the pleasure of meeting many years ago while on assignment in a beautiful forest near a babbling brook where geese made their home in the springtime, only to fly north for the summer because of oppressive heat, but to return in a few days when they find it just as scorching hot up north. You know, Ludlow and I have come a long way since those days in the forest near the babbling brook where the geese made their home in the springtime. Why, we both have cushy media jobs. Ludlow only works 3 hours a day, and I only work Sunday morning. And we both have exciting guests stop by on occasion, people like Dan Rather and Leslie Stahl. In fact, Leslie Stahl will be Ludlow's guest in a few months when she returns from assignment in Antarctica. Bruce Morton might stop by to be a guest, but frankly, I haven't seen him since he was fired a few years ago. Anyway, listen weekday mornings to my close personal friend, Ludlow Porch. I'm Charles Carrault.
251 at News Talk Radio, AM-750, WSB. Good morning. You're listening to the best of Ludlow Porch. And we're going to get back to Ludlow and his wacky friends in just a minute. Of course, I want to remind you, this is a tape broadcast. So when Ludlow gives out those numbers, don't call because he's not here to take those calls. A couple of quick program notes. Want to make sure you listen to Jane Norris, substituting for Neil Boritz. All this week, noon to 3 on News Talk Radio, AM-750 WSB. Jane's in from our sister station, KFI News Talk Radio in Los Angeles. The liberal darling of L.A., they like to call her. Perfect counterpoint to Neil. Although I'm not saying Neil's conservative, he is a libertarian. So tune in for that. And on a more serious note, we hope you're listening to Ludlow because you enjoy being entertained. But if you're up late at night because you have money problems, tune in at 9 o'clock this morning and listen to Clark Howard right here on News Talk Radio, AM-750 WSB, because as Clark likes to say, he can give you the knowledge and the power to win. The knowledge is the how-to, and the power is unraveling all the little complexities, the rights and wrongs of the situation you might find yourself in. Clark really wants to help. So if you've got financial problems and they're on your mind, don't stay up all night worrying about them. Get a good night's sleep. Tune in at a decent hour in the morning to catch Atlanta's morning news. That starts at 5 a.m. And then 9 o'clock, tune to News Talk Radio AM-750 WSB for Clark Howard, expert consumer advice just for you on News Talk Radio AM-750 WSB. Temperature on Peachtree Street, 77 degrees. Let's go back to the best of Ludlow Porch. as we talk to our buddy
Kitty Litter on the radio. Good morning, Ms. Litter. How you doing?
Well, I'm just fine. While I've been on hold, I was analyzing that tune you're playing, and it has exactly 4 notes in it. And I don't think it's anything anybody would whistle all the way home because they'd lose their entire mind.
Not a Herman Hupfeld classic, is it?
No way. By the way, have you seen Bryant Gumbel's lips?
Brian Gumbel's lips?
Yes.
No.
Well, I don't know what in the world he has done. You remember when you were a kid and you'd go into the corner candy store and they'd have these big wax lips?
Yeah.
He looks like he's wearing them.
I wonder if he's been in an accident or something.
I don't know. I thought, is it a bee sting or is it silicone? You know, these women are always having their lips shot full of silicone.
Yeah.
And I don't know what Bryant Gumbel has done to his lips, but if it ever comes up again, I'm voting no.
Well, I never get to watch early morning television. I'm generally up about in a shower and leaving. But you have piqued my curiosity.
Well, you know, I turned on the news this morning, and the first thing I see is Bryant Gumbel's lips, and it eclipsed the flood out in the Middle West.
That's news
It
to me.
eclipsed the earthquake in Japan.
I haven't seen anything in the paper that explained what's going on.
I haven't either, but I wonder if I'm the only one, or if I just think he's done something to his lips.
We'll solicit other comments.
But there wasn't anything wrong with his lips to start with.
No.
But, you know, he had one on the top, one on the bottom.
and they worked
good.
They worked together, yeah.
Yes, and you were talking about what people are irritated about today.
Yeah.
Well, I just read my horoscope, Ludlow, and I'm really irritated.
What does it say?
It said, you could be flirting with fame and fortune. Well, I haven't got time for that. I'm still watering all these bushes trying to keep them from drying out.
Well, maybe you could be the next Bush queen.
Well, I'm beginning to think so. But anyhow, that's all I do is keep the bushes watered. Gosh, I sure picked a bad year to have the front of the house re-landscaped.
Well, you can't let them die. I mean, you're talking about an investment out there. Yeah.
And I've got a new watermelon red crepe myrtle tree that's got to be 20 feet tall, and I have to keep that watered.
Yep, will take a lot of water.
Tell me about it. But on the other hand, I've been losing weight, and I weigh 5.5 pounds more than the day I got married.
Well, listen, that's wonderful.
I think so, too.
That's wonderful.
I'm going to be lean and mean and everything, and then if another day shows up where I'm flirting with fame and fortune, maybe maybe I can go.
Well, I cannot wait to see the new you.
Yes. Well, I guess that's all I wanted to bend your ear about this morning. If someone had told me that I would be calling you about Bryant Gumbel's lip, I would have said, you crazy.
A long shot at best.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody else knows something about that. I have no idea whether he's been in an accident or what.
I don't know. He's been on vacation, as I understand it, for a couple of weeks. And I just wonder if he's gone and got his mouth shot full of silicone, for heaven's sake.
We'll find out.
It might shift and wind up where he's got a fat elbow or something.
We'll find out. That kind of thing worries me.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Well, you just take care of your big old self.
I'm going to do it, and congratulations on your weight loss, and cannot wait to see you.
All righty.
Talk to you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Somebody called it. I could not. Warren Oates played Rooster Cogburn in that series, and Warren Oates was one of my favorite actors. I was a Warren Oates fan. I don't know how I could have possibly missed I could have lost that name. How quickly we forget. Normally, I don't lose those kind of names. I lose vice presidential names. Those are easy to lose. But Warren Oates played Rooster Cogburn, and we lost Warren Oates entirely too early. Our number, 1-800-572-8255. And we're going to get right back to our phones here in just a very few minutes. But first, I need to tell you something important. With all of this dry weather, with all of this hot weather, a couple things are happening. Number one, there's more dust out there. A lot of it you don't notice, a lot of it you can't see. And number two, the filter that you have in your furnace right now, I mean, you know the one I'm talking about, the one that came with it, where you have to replace it all the time. That filter is about 3 to 7% efficient on airborne contaminants. The allergy-free permanent electrostatic air filter, 97% efficient on those same airborne contaminants. That keeps all of this dust out of your house, and that results in a cleaner and healthier environment for your family. Because when I'm telling you it keeps the dust out, we're also talking about things that really drive your allergies nuts. Things like algae spores, bacteria.
Promo in there, sorry. Here's Ludlow. 572-8255. Ludlow Porch on a Tuesday. It's open line time, gang. What is on your mind as we go to Forest Park, Georgia, and talk to Jack. Hi, Jack.
Good morning, buddy.
Good morning, old friend. How you doing?
Fine, fine. And this is unsolicited. That air filter is doing a great job.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I watched the first time I took it out and cleaned it. I washed it out of the tub.
Yeah.
My wife to look at it. She said, I can't believe how much it cost. A bunch of it. It sure did.
Yeah, it really does.
But listen, that report about the 2 quarts of water every hour with them boys at Fort Jackson.
Yeah.
That's a little unreal. The boy, he'd have to be lugging around a 10-gallon bucket with him, wouldn't he?
Well, not only that, but that rascal going to spend a lot of time looking for a bathroom. I guess, I don't know, but that may be a misprint. It's got to be a misprint.
It's got to be a misprint. Well, in fact, there's those little canteens like we had back in the 50s.
Yeah.
Only hold, what, about a quart?
About a quart, yeah.
Yeah, that was about it.
Yeah, and 2 quarts an hour. I understand that they don't want them dehydrated.
Oh, yeah.
But that just sounds like an awful lot of water to me by the end of the day.
And back in 51, I thought Fort Hood, Texas, where I did my training, was hot until I got a good 16-week tour down at Fort Benning. I'm going to tell you one thing, brother, it was hot at Fort Benning.
I once heard a man say that the government has one guy who travels all over the country looking for the hottest, driest, most insect-infested areas in the world, and when he finds it, he puts an army base right in the middle of it.
That's right. And I can recall this one Spanish second lieutenant named Lieutenant Trujillo. We'd be out there sitting on the ground and lean back on our helmet, just dozing off, Somebody kind of dozed off. He'd say, "For sleeping in class, step forward and do for me 10 push-ups." So then later on, he had to do it so much, he just pointed to say, "Make 10."
And you knew what he meant.
Yes, you did. Like I say, it was awful hot. But I don't envy them old boys out there. I can't.
No, sir. No, sir. I'm glad you called, Jack.
Okay, buddy. Hold me in the road.
All right, stay close. Bye-bye. Go to Cumming, Georgia, and talk to James. Good morning, James.
Hello.
How you doing, buddy?
You care if I do this on your show? I'd like to send my condolences out to Bobby Elson, Dave Elson's family.
Yeah, that's a very sad situation down there. And over there in Birmingham, I guess now, that's just tough. It doesn't get much worse than that, does it? All right, buddy, we got you down.
Okay, thank you, Lord.
Thank you, James. Bye-bye. 1-800-572-8255. Yeah, we'll get all the details on our local news here in a few minutes on that, but that is tough. It really, really doesn't get much worse than that. And our thoughts and prayers go out to the family today. Looking over in Alabama, listen to this. Milton McGregor, Mr. McGregor, he owns the dog racing track in Birmingham. He says that he is willing to put a $150 million casino and family resort on the spot if the Alabama legislature goes along with his proposal to allow gaming in 4 counties. A bill to pave the way for casinos is being drafted for introduction at a special legislative session next month. If Governor Jim Folsom Jr. puts the matter on the agenda, it must be done first. Mr. McGregor says that his resort would cost $150 million. He says it would produce $100 million a year in state taxes and thousands of jobs. And I wonder what that would do to the tourist industry in the rest of the South, because right now, New Orleans innkeepers in part blame casinos in Mississippi for a drop in tourism. I bet you that the gambling boats in Mississippi have hurt New Orleans. But New Orleans is in the process, as we talked about this here a year ago, they are in the process of building, if I'm not mistaken, my memory serves, the largest casino in the world. And whether or not that started, I don't know, but I think that's what they're doing. The largest casino in the world will be in New Orleans, and they will get that tourist business back. One of the things the innkeepers in New Orleans could do is to drop some of their rip-off practices. Like if you go over there for like a sugar bowl, for example, you got to have buy a 3-day package. It's all inflated. You got to buy a 3-day package. There's no way you can get a hotel room in New Orleans doing Sugar Bowl time for less than 3 days. Our number is 1-800-572-8255. I'm Ludlow Porch, and it is a great day to be alive. Kind of felt in a laid-back mood today and decided we might make this an open line and just enjoy the pleasure of your company. We have talked about everything from bad luck and the bad luck superstitions that were handed down from your parents, mothers generally, grandmothers. Had any comments yet on my observation about Murphy Brown? Well, I watched it several times since the birth of that baby, and it just seems that the quality's gone from the show. To me, it's not nearly as funny as it was before Murphy had the baby. It had nothing to do with the Dan Quayle incident or the fact that she's an unmarried mama. I just don't think it's nearly as funny. You got any comment on that? What do you think? Or are you even watching it all? And we still haven't talked to anybody who has seen Dennis the Menace. I would like a report on that show. 1-800-572-8255. You heard John call a minute ago. Unsolicited testimonial says the allergy-free filter in their house working like a top and keeping that dust out, and couldn't believe what it had caught. When you check that filter and find what it's caught, you're going to wonder how your allergies have stood it. Because right now your old filter's only getting about 3 to 7% of that dust, the algae spores, the bacteria, fabric lint, plant spores, animal hair, pollen. Great Scott, can pollen knock your hat in the creek. You don't have to put up with any of that anymore. When you call these folks, I'm going to give you the number in just a second. When you call these folks, and this very delightful lady answers the phone, first words out of your mouth, Ludlow told me to call you. You do that, you get a 25% discount, and this thing is in your house like a flash for $59.95. Now the number, 1-800-ALLERGY, 1-800-ALLERGY, 1-800-ALLERGY. She'll answer the phone, and the minute she does, you tell her I told you to call, and you are on your way to having a cleaner, healthier environment for you and your family. Somebody in your house, child or an adult with allergies, this is a must. This will do the job. People ask me all the time, does this really work? Of course it works. If it didn't work, I wouldn't tell you that it works. This will do the job for you. Asthma, gotta have this. Got to have this. 1-800-ALLERGY. 1-800-ALLERGY. You call these folks, they tell them I told you to call, and you'll be like John. Cleaner, healthier environment for you and your family. Do this, gang. It's important. Allergy-free. The name is the tip-off.
You need a new heart, Mr. Lakem.
Hey, transplant doctor.
Don't worry, we're combing the country. There's a very good chance we'll find you one.
Fine, as long as it's not from a Jew or a black or anyone who's Polish or Puerto Rican or Irish or Arab or Japanese or Italian or a gay guy, a Mexican, a woman, or anybody left-handed.
I'm sorry you feel that way.
Why, doctor?
Because you're probably gonna die.
On the other hand, it's important to keep an open mind.
The Leadership Conference Education Fund and the Advertising Council remind you that our strength, our progress depend on our diversity.
Hello? Anyone?
Did you fall in this hole?
Yeah, I can't get out.
Want me to pull you out?
That'd be great.
Okay.
Is that an accent I hear?
No.
Good, because I don't want anyone foreign to pull me out.
Oh, okay. Take a
You're
hold.
not Jewish or Catholic or any other strange religion, are you?
No, just grab on.
You're wearing a ring. Are you gay or a woman or something?
Listen, do you want my help?
Nah, I'll stay down here in my hole till someone exactly like me comes along.
Fine.
Hello? Anyone? Hello?
The Leadership Conference Education Fund and the Advertising Council remind you that our strength, our progress depend on our diversity.
Ludlow Porch with an open line as we talk to my buddy John. Hi, John.
Hi, Lily.
How you doing, bud?
Good, how are you?
Doing great.
Went down to the Fox last night to the Fox Family Film Festival, saw Last Mohican. Took my college-age daughter down there who had never dreamed that you could go to a movie and have a sing-along and a cartoon and stuff like that. She just thought it was hilarious that people did that sort of thing.
An old-fashioned night out.
And it reminded, well, it was our anniversary, and my wife and I were going to go out to eat, and then we heard that the Last Mohicans was going to be on there, which we really liked the movie, so we opted for that instead, and since that's her favorite movie, we took her with us.
All right, well, that's good.
Reminded me of the time that we went to the Fox to see a movie, and they had the balcony roped off, and we said, but we wanted to sit in the balcony, and the guy says, well, wait just a minute. So after they dimmed the lights and started the previews and all that, he moved the rope and let us go upstairs, and we had the balcony to ourselves.
A private filming.
A private filming.
I love it.
I think of a Walt Disney movie with Dick Van Dyke or something like that. Really romantic.
I love it.
What I called about, since you opened it wide up, was a gnat bite that I'm reminded of every time I go someplace like this.
All right.
Where when you go to the trouble to get there in plenty of time and get a good seat, and then the folks that come in 5 minutes before the thing is supposed to start or after it starts and want you to move or whatever so that they can have a good seat. You're sitting where you want to, and they're asking you, would you mind sliding down 4 chairs and letting this guy from behind you come over next in between you so that we can sit right behind you right in the middle and get a good seat, you know?
Yeah.
That bugs me. If you want a good seat, get there early.
That's the secret. That's the secret.
So
let me tell you something bugs me even worse than that. Is when you get to something involving your children earlier. I mean, talking about a school play,
right,
graduation. You get there early and you get a good seat, and some imbecile sets up a tripod with the camera in front of you.
Right in front of you.
Let me tell you a true story. That happened. We got to my son's high school graduation very early so we could get some good seats. We really wanted to see this. We were proud and we wanted to see it. Guy came and set up a great big camera on a tripod right in front of us, blocked our entire view. I went up and as nice as I could said, you know, we're here early and you blocked our view. And he said, well, I'm employed by the school to film this. And I said, well, you're going to need to find another place to do this because you have blocked our view and the view of about 30% of this audience. So I went outside to cool off because I was pretty upset.
The old Marine instinct coming back.
Yep, got a coffee, drank my coffee, came back, and he was still standing there. And I went back up there. And I don't like confrontation. I really don't. That's not my nature at all.
Sure.
And I said, you know, I've asked you as nice as I know how. And he said, I can't move. And I said, oh, you're going to move. I said, and there was a door, an exit, big double door in this auditorium type area. And he said, what do you mean? I said, as soon as this starts, if you're still there, me and you and that camera and that tripod are going through that door. From there on, you let your conscience be your guide.
Right.
I fully intended to do that. People who interfere with other people, like that, running down the aisles, getting pictures, that sort of thing, should talk to their mama and daddy about the manners they learned at one time. One of my absolute pet peeves, because I fully intended to take that man outside with that camera, so I may not see the rest of it, but everybody else was.
when Jimmy Carter was running for president, Willie Nelson came to town for a benefit.
Yeah.
And we went, my dad went with us, and the guy sitting right in front of my dad had one of these 47-gallon cowboy hats on.
Yeah.
Inside, wouldn't take it off. And the show got ready to start, and Dad says, you are going to take that hat off, aren't you, so that we can see back here. And what he did was he got up and traded places with somebody so he would be in front of somebody taller or whatever, so he wouldn't have to take his hat off.
Yeah. Well, it may have been screwed on.
Well, I can believe that.
John, take care of yourself.
You too.
I'll talk to you, old buddy.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Chattanooga, Tennessee, and Jan. Good morning, Jan. Jan, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
How you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Good. What's on your mind today?
Ludlow,
Yeah.
about a month ago, a woman wanted a recipe for some sweet potato rolls,
Mm-hmm.
and it's in the Southern Living magazine, July issue.
The July issue of Southern Living.
It sure is.
Okay.
And this is my first time call, but I've enjoyed your program for a long time.
Well, you keep listening. Call us often.
Okay, thank you a lot.
Talk to you
Bye-bye.
soon. Bye-bye. Jan, I knew it was her first time call because, that's right, she had a radio on. When you call, the radio really confusing because you're hearing yourself 7 seconds later, and it's almost impossible to call and listen to yourself on the radio and concentrate on what you're saying. So turn your radio down, listen to us on the radio, and that way you can make a good comment, and we are glad. Yeah, I'm glad the guy mentioned the pet peeves, because even if I don't have somebody there, even if I'm going to see a neighbor's child or a friend's child in a play, and occasionally you go to those things, or a recital or something, and the people who are running up and down the aisles with cameras, I know you want a picture of Beatrice playing the piano or imitating an orange during a school play. But good manners would require that you realize that everybody there is not there to see little Beatrice. And they don't care whether you get her picture or not. And you are being rude. You are interrupting people who are there to enjoy, not there to look at your backside while you run them down the aisle taking a picture. I don't know why schools allow it. They shouldn't, because I'm convinced that it not only does it hurt attendance, I think it hurts the long-range plans of the people who think ahead as far as going to Christmas pageants and that sort of thing. If you disagree with that, I'd like to hear from you. 1-800-572-8255. We are wide open, gang. What is on your mind? Join us.
Son, you're listening to the Ludlow Porch Show on the Fun Seekers Radio Network. While the information you can obtain from this show is downright informative, son. Ludlow and his wacko friends talk about everything from B to P, son. That's B to P, son. Birds to politics. B to P. Get it, son? Anyway, all of us farm preachers tune in weekday mornings to listen to Ludlow, because it sure beats watching silly cartoons or listening to rock and roll. Listening to rock and roll. But the main reason we listen to Ludlow here on the farm is that it keeps us all away from doing chores, son. I mean, I'd rather listen to Ludlow Porch than slop a hog any day. Besides, Ludlow's smarter than the average bear, son. So be sure to listen to the Ludlow Porch Show weekdays, and you can put your chores off till the weekend, son.
More cartoon characters get their news from the Ludlow Porch Show than from any other radio program. The preceding paid for by Hanna-Barbera. Hey, what you doing? It's 3:58 at News Talk Radio AM-750 WSB, and you're listening to the best of Ludlow Porch. And we're going to go back to Ludlow and his wacky friends after AP Network News and local news at the top of the hour. The exclusive WSB 5-day forecast. For the rest of the overnight hours, slight chance of isolated thunder showers, low near 70. After the sun comes up, partly cloudy, chance of isolated afternoon and evening thunder showers, high 92, low 70. Through Saturday, mostly the same, partly cloudy, hot, widely scattered afternoon and evening thunder showers. Daytime highs near 90, overnight lows near 70. Right now on Peachtree Street, 76 degrees, and the time is 3:59. Good morning, everyone.
Atlanta's Morning News. Get all the news, weather, and traffic every morning from Atlanta's news, weather, and traffic station. AM-750 WSB. Depend on it.
WSB Atlanta.
News Talk Radio AM-750 WSB, time of the tone, 4 o'clock.
AP Network News, I'm Sean Anderson. President Clinton says once he heard how bad the flooding situation was in the Midwest, he had to fly back. Clinton has been taking some time off in Hawaii after his Asian trip, but he'll leave the Aloha State shortly for a second inspection tour of the rain-swollen Mississippi River area. Yesterday, the president granted disaster area status to 222 Midwest counties. American Red Cross President Elizabeth Dole has been in Des Moines, Iowa. She says the conditions there are bad.
250,000 people in Des Moines have no water at all, no drinking water, no water for showers, for washing clothes. It's going to be at least till Sunday before they have water, and probably a month before they have drinking water. Electricity is off for about 3,000 people, and also the telephone service is intermittent in certain areas.
No break for the folks in Iowa. More rain is in the forecast. About 6,500 National Guardsmen are on duty in Iowa, Illinois, and Missouri. There's been a heat wave in Alaska. On Tuesday, the town of Barrow, located 325 miles above the Arctic Circle, broke its all-time high temperature when the thermometer hit 79 degrees. It was 87 in Fairbanks, and highs in the 90s are forecast for the rest of the week. The death toll from this week's earthquake in northern Japan has now reached 99. More than 100 are reported missing. A group advocating an end to the ban on gays in the military says Defense Secretary Les Aspin has made his recommendation on the subject to the president. The story from AP's Steve Porter.
Don't ask and don't tell, generally, is the policy Defense Secretary Les Aspin is recommending to the president. Homosexuals would be allowed to serve in the military as long as they make no public or private declaration of their sexual orientation. Some latitude would be allowed for homosexuals to confide in very close friends. Those who do make public that they are gay or lesbian would be forced out of the military. Now, once the president announces the policy, armed services committees in both houses will hold hearings. And it's likely that some congressmen will propose a complete ban on homosexuals in the military. Steve Porter, AP Network News, Washington.
Baseball's all-star game in Baltimore last night. It was the American League 9, the National League 3. This is AP Network News. Secretary of State Warren Christopher could be back in the Middle East next week to rescue the Arab-Israeli peace talks. We find out more from AP's Barry Schweid.
Christopher's ready to risk another diplomatic setback by going to the Middle East, but he'd like to know there's at least a chance positions are changing. Palestinian statements indicate there is no change. U.S. proposals for self-rule are still being described as unacceptable. But Syria Radio says a message from President Clinton is reassuring because the aren't active in its mediator role. Christopher will decide when he gets a final report from Dennis Ross, the State Department official now shuffling between Israel and the Arabs. Barry Schweid, AP Network News at the State Department.
Negotiations between the U.S. and North Korea on international inspections of suspected nuclear sites begin today in Geneva. The U.S. is demanding that North Korea comply with the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. Major sugar growers have agreed to pour millions of dollars into a federal project to clean up the Florida Everglades. More from AP's Ira Dreyfus.
The goal is to hook up what Interior Secretary Bruce Babbitt describes as a severed artery of clean water to feed the Everglades. Government flood control projects and fertilizer runoff from agriculture, such as sugar growing, had shrunk and distorted the environment of the wetlands. The fix-up plan calls for spending $465 million, of which $322 million from sugar growers will clean up agricultural runoff. Babbitt says it's a step in the right direction.
We have turned the corner toward the reconstruction of the Everglades. We have not by any means finished the task.
He says a lot more agreements and many years of work lie ahead. Ira Dreyfus, AP Network News, Washington.
On the financial markets this morning, the Dow Jones Industrial Average will begin the day at 35.15. NASDAQ is at 708.47. Tokyo's Nikkei stock average dropped 41 points in today's trading to close at 20,139. And the dollar is off against the Japanese yen. It closed at 108.45. Vice President Al Gore and his family have new digs. The vice presidential mansion on the grounds of the Naval Observatory is ready after a $1.6 million overhaul. The Navy says the Queen Anne-style house needed extensive work, including a replacement of the air conditioning, heating, and plumbing systems. Gore and his wife, Tipper, have 4 kids. I'm Sean Anderson, AP Network News.
Good morning. I'm Jeff Otis in the AM-750 WSB News Center. Temperature at 405, 76 degrees. Weather overnight. Chance of an isolated thunder shower. Low near 70. The exclusive WSB 5-day forecast in just a couple of minutes. An Atlanta police officer shoots and kills a suspect late last night. We get details from AM-750 WSB's Elaine Wooten.
Police Chief Eldrin Bell says the officer responded to a call of a person armed at the Essex Court Apartments. When she arrived, she was confronted by a man with a knife. Bell says the officer ordered the man to drop the knife, but instead he charged at the officer. She fired once, striking him in the chest. Bell says there will be an administrative investigation of the shooting, which is routine in these matters. So far, no ID on either the officer or the man who was killed. Reporting from Southwest Atlanta, Elaine Wooten, AM-750 WSB News.
Com police arrest a suspect in the murder of one of their officers. George Russell Henry has been charged with the murder of Officer Robert Ingram. His body found by the side of the road early yesterday morning after he investigated a suspicious person report. Assistant Public Safety Director Pete Fenton says the department is stunned by the loss.
People are still in a state of shock, and I'm talking about hardened officers and dispatchers. People are used to seeing all kinds of tragedies. This is the first tragedy of this type to strike us, and it has struck us to the very heart.
Officer Ingram was a 2-year veteran of the force and a newlywed. He was 24 years old. He will be buried Thursday. Funeral services will be held at 11 a.m. at the Roswell Street Baptist Church. His body will lie in state beginning at 10 a.m. Atlanta Mayor Maynard Jackson defends city plans to offer city benefits to unmarried partners of city employees. Jackson says for the city, it's the right thing to do.
The answer is not popular to give, but it's not hard to give. The truth is that government does not have the right to enforce religious standards. And marriage is one manifestation of a value system.
But the actual benefits for domestic partners probably won't come about until next year. The mayor has signed a resolution supporting the concept, but money for the program likely will be delayed until the 1994 city budget is approved. The time is 4:07. News Talk Radio AM-750 WSB, where the hotline number is the same as our name. Dial WSB NEWS, and Bell South Mobility customers call *750. It's free. Now, Atlanta's most accurate weather. Overnight, a slight chance of isolated thunder showers, low near 70. After sunrise, partly cloudy with a chance of isolated afternoon and evening thunder showers. High 92, low 70. Extended outlook through Saturday, partly cloudy. Hot, widely scattered afternoon and evening thunder showers. Daytime highs near 90. Overnight lows near 70. Right now, WSB color radar is clear. Relative humidity, 59%. Wind southwest, 9 miles an hour. Barometer, 30.13 and rising. At 4:07, the temperature on Peachtree Street is 76 degrees. The best of Ludlow Porch continues on WSB. I'm Jeff Otis. And if news breaks out, we'll break in. This is Atlanta's news, weather, and traffic station. News Talk Radio, AM-750 WSB. Depend on it.
AM-750 WSB presents the best of Ludlow Porch. If you hear the phone numbers, please don't call. This is a taped program.
Yeah! Oh, a wise guy, huh?
Ted Koppel, a very successful network person, very successful. Although Ludlow is certainly no Ted Koppel, he does show signs of making this regional network thing work. Well, that's on a day-to-day basis. But anyway, since I don't take calls from mere mortals. You can call Ludlow at 1-800-572-TALK. That's 1-800-572-8255. Now here's Ludlow.
Well, thank you, Ted, and welcome back, gang. Ludlow Porch with an absolute flat-out open line for the next hour, right up until noontime. So we'll talk about whatever may be on your mind. And all you have to do is pick up the phone, 1-800-572-8255. We got some folks been holding on for a while. Going to get right back to the phones now. Go to Dawson County and talk to Lee. Good morning, Lee.
Good morning, neighbor.
How you doing, pal?
I got a bad case of it. Don't want us.
Well, in this kind of weather, Lee, it's easy to get a bad case of that or the can't hardly.
That's right. But I can't help it.
All of that. All hot weather sicknesses.
Well, it's a little cooler this morning than it had been.
Yeah, I hope you had any rain up there today?
No, Lord.
Hey, all that lightning last night in the distance, I thought it was going to be a frog strangler, but nothing much happened, did it?
They ain't done even settle the dust.
Yeah, no, it sure hadn't.
I don't know why the storms get right to our county line up here and then go around it.
Must be an ordinance against them or something.
I guess. I was reminded this morning when they were talking about the frog having wings.
Yeah.
If an elephant had wings, it still couldn't roost in trees.
Nothing much going to help a poo elephant, I don't think.
That's right.
That's funny.
Well, we'll let you go.
Okay, my friend.
Enjoying the cool.
You take care of yourself. I'll talk to you. Bye-bye. Let's go to Dalton, Georgia, and talk to Alonzo. Hello, Alonzo. How you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm fine, my man. Hope you are.
I'm all right. I heard you earlier speaking about, videographers, cameramen, whatever.
Yes.
And I happen to be an independent cameraman, and I think one of the first things you have to consider when you go and tape, somebody in a band or whatever, I always consider the people when I go in there, and I'm always looking for a place where I can be without being seen, but at the same time try to do a very good job.
Sure.
And I think that's really why I wanted to call about. Some of these people ought to do just like you suggested.
I think consideration. I think when folks see you with your camera gear, trying to find a place where you can get the job done, but not be rude about it. To kind of get the job done and find a good plot. I think folks will help you. I think folks will go out of their way to do that. I will.
Absolutely.
But when a guy just comes and plops a tripod down right directly in front of you, and his whole attitude is, well, what I have to do is more important than what you have to do.
Right. So basically, I just wanted to call in the defense of the good videographers that are out there.
Sure.
But I guess you've had your experiences with the bad ones.
Oh, but I've had some experience with good ones, too. That was not an indictment of all those folks.
Oh, okay.
It was kind of an indictment of rude people everywhere, whether they're mamas and daddies or professionals,
Absolutely.
There's not much excuse for that. And most folks should do like you do it, Alonzo.
Okay. Well, anyway, that's all I want to talk about. And we did get the storm yesterday, by the way. We got the brunt of it. There was a tree down over here in Highway 52 where we live. And I was able to tape it, by the way. You guessed it, since I do camera work.
Uh-huh.
So anyway, I'll let you go.
Well, I hope there's enough rain to help you.
Yeah, I hope so, too. We got quite a bit of it.
Glad to talk to you, buddy.
Okay.
Take care of yourself.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Let's go to Savannah and talk to Reggie. Hello, Reggie.
Good morning, Ludlow.
Good morning, my friend.
How are you?
Good, thank you.
Enjoy your program immensely.
Thank you.
Two things. One, the water consumption for the Category 5 heat level that we're experiencing as far as the military is concerned.
Yeah.
That's gospel.
That's not a misprint?
No, sir.
That's incredible, isn't it?
Well, sir, it seems incredible, but believe you me, it's not so much here at Fort Stewart. Water consumption doesn't probably get that high, but in '88 I spent 3 weeks on rotation in the summertime at Fort Irwin, California, and the 2 quarts an hour, I mean, that goes like nothing out there.
Really?
And the reason for that is because the dehydration level is so quick, and no, you don't have to hunt little boys' rooms that often. I'm an active member of the Georgia Army National Guard, and I'm in the 48th Brigade, 1st 118th Field Artillery, and our summer, our AT starts Saturday. and we were at the Load and Grill meeting last night, and that was one of the last things that came out was that we are still experiencing Category 5 temperatures, and water consumption is 2 quarts per hour to keep your system from dehydrating.
That just seemed kind of shocking to me, but apparently it is not a misprint. It's just a way of keeping folks alive and healthy.
That's true. That's military regulations that you consume that much water for your own benefit. We at Fort Stewart, a quart an hour. I'm guilty of doing, but not the 2. One thing more, and then I'm out of here.
All right.
Do you have a son in the Navy?
No.
Okay. The reason I asked, there was a Lieutenant JG or a captain who spelled his last name Poarch that was on a network television program, The Children Talking or something of this sort, and he was of large frame, and I understand that you are also.
Indeed. No, I don't. And plus mine is it's like Front Porch, Porch.
Okay. No A involved.
No, sir.
Okay. Also, I did a little ditty about the cucumber also, but I don't have time to get into that. When I have the opportunity to call you again, there was 4 or 5 weeks ago, you said no one had ever made a song about a cucumber, I think. And while I was riding along, I came up with one, and I wrote it down. And when I get back to it and I have a chance to call you back again, I'll if your program format will take that, then I'll let you know what I do.
Call us back, Reggie. We'll be glad to hear it.
Okay, we don't hear a lot of people from Savannah on there. I'm sure that a lot of people listen, and I would like to I'd like to hear more people from Savannah because I enjoy your program immensely.
Bless your heart. Thank you, Reggie.
Okay.
Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Listen, I want to tell you about my friends at Jasper Jeep, largest Jeep dealership this side of California. A reason for that, you ask? Indeed, price. That's the first thing people think about. Now, it is fine to do a good job, to have a wonderful service department, to have great people, and they do all of that at Jasper Jeep, but they know to get you in there the first time it's going to take a good deal. The kind of deals that have made them famous, the kind of deals that have made them prosperous, and you're going to save money on everything up there. That's just a fact. You're going to always find the car you want, always find the selection right there, over 300 to choose from. Never hassle you. No heated negotiations, as people say. No bull feathers, just good folks who want to sell you a Jeep, but not enough to lie to you. Jasper Jeep in Jasper, Georgia. These folks have kind of invented the one-price shopping for cars. You stop by and see them when you're ready for a Jeep. Or just go by and say hello, hi y'all. These are good people. Jasper Jeep gang, no matter where you live in the Southeast. Your Jeep and Eagle dealership is in Jasper, Georgia.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look, up in the sky, it's a bird. It's a plane.
Yes, you're listening to the best of Ludlow Porch on News Talk Radio, AM-750 WSB. Good morning. Wake up, wake up. Atlanta's Morning News will be on the air in about 42 minutes. Special program note before we go back to Ludlow. A really special edition this Saturday morning, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Dave from Conyers, the Home Fix-It Show. Very, very special show. Dave's going to be walking us through how to install a smear of cream cheese on a poppy seed bagel without the brackets. The special guest will be Morris Katz, professor of food management systems for DeVry Technical College. And his co-host will be Ed from Norcross. Don't forget to tune in, folks. You don't want to miss it. Now back to Superman.
From another planet who came to Earth with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men. Superman, who can change the course of mighty rivers, bend steel in his bare hands, and who, disguised as Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter for a great metropolitan newspaper, fights a never-ending battle for truth, justice, and the American way.
Ludlow Porch. Here at Superman Themes, and that's from radio. That's wonderful. 1-800-572-8255. We started off today by commenting that it was the 13th of July. And do you do anything differently on the 13th? Or do you just hang right in there and not worry about it, not even notice it? You know what? I don't think about the number 13. And I know a lot of folks really bothers them, but it just never occurs to me that it's the 13th of the month, or that I'm in room number 513 or whatever at a hotel. It just never occurs to me. But it bothers a lot of people. Got any superstitions that bother you? 1-800-572-8255. We are wide open, gang. We'll talk about whatever may be on your mind. In the Georgia Lottery, and folks within the sound of my voice all over the Southeast have been involved in this to one degree or another, either supporting a lottery for their state or fighting it. But there's a new form today. I guess this is open today. It's called Cool Cash. It's the Georgia Lottery's latest game, and they indicate that it will burn about twice as hot in this week's 100-degree weather. Georgia Lottery began June 29th, and today it unveils its third scratch-off game. I never cared much for that term. That sounds dirty for some reason. Scratch-off game Monday that doubles the top prize, but of course the odds go up against winning it. The new top cash prize will be $5,000. That is up from $2,500 in the inaugural instant cash game, and $4,000 more than the $1,000 in the Georgia Millionaires game. The new tickets will go, I said today, I was wrong. The new tickets go on sale Wednesday, but folks who are interested in buying them should beware of two laws that take effect with the larger prize. See what you think about this. First, the Internal Revenue will take a $1,400 bite out of the $5,000 winning. Federal law requires the IRS to withhold 28% in taxes out of awards $5,000 and higher. The thing that gets my nanny goat about that is they're taking 28% of money you may or may not owe. But they take that in advance before you file an income tax return. That is bad. Thomas Jefferson would spin in his grave. And then another part of this thing, people who are delinquent in paying child support payments, taxes, or student loans will see their prizes garnished, as this says, by state agencies. I guess that means they're going to put some greenery around it. Whatever's left will come to you in the mail. 30 million of the Cool Cash tickets will go on sale on Wednesday. The chance of winning $5,000 and one in 120,000. If all tickets are sold and redeemed, that means 250 people will harvest the top prize. Chance of winning the next highest prize, 500, is a little better. 1 in 60,000. Well, that sounds like a sure thing to me. 500 people would be collecting these prizes if all the tickets are sold. So, what's going to happen with Cool Cash? Great time of the year for them. We're going to get right back to our telephones after this. You stay with us. I had the strangest dream the other night. I dreamed that I had a Rolls-Royce limousine. It was something. In my dream, I was riding in the back seat, and my chauffeur, Floyd Eugene, was driving. Another Rolls limo pulled up beside us at a red light, and the man in the back seat rolled his window down and said, "Pardon me, but do you have any gray Connect milk?"
I said, are you out of your gourd? How on earth could you ever afford a Rolls limo when you don't even know that Connect milk is Snow White? Because it's pure. It's delicious and as wholesome as a Shirley Temple movie. Then he said, well, do you have any lard? I was in the process of taking a lug wrench to the front of his limo when I woke up. Had myself some cold Connect milk and went right back to sleep. Hey, if your favorite store doesn't have Connect milk, ask them to get it for you, and I need you to do that no later than 3 o'clock tomorrow.